All right. I forget that it's not like Google Meets where I don't have to like give it a minute before it starts recording. It just records life of the teacher. So thank you guys for coming to hear from Alana Williams. Alana has been doing this forever, just like me. And she started her first accountability group based off of a girl that she was following on social media. She was, what did you say? You were holding the wings? What were you saying? Quesadillas off of the pregnant belly, right? Like, just like, I should probably get on board with this, right? Like, I should do something now that I'm a mother, right? So, she is a Beachbody lover, a groups lover, and a complete consistency rock star. And I was hoping that she could come on tonight and talk about a story that I'd heard before, but it wasn't until I read her talking about it a couple weeks ago that it really made me listen. So here is Alana.
Hi. Well, thank you so much for having me. This is really an honor. So actually, how much time do I have? Because I don't know if you have the limited Zoom or not, because I could just talk forever.
We don't have a limited Zoom. We usually do like 20 to 30.
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I have been coaching. Well, I started Beachbody. Like I was introduced to Beachbody when my son was 6 weeks old. Well, not really. I'd been watching my coach for a long time before that. She was in my mommy's group. We had our baby boys were due on the same day, and so we'd known each other for a while, and I'd been watching her, and she had this like super fit pregnancy. She was like adorable, and like Ashley said, I was like huge and like laying on my couch and like eating quesadillas off of my pregnant tummy, and so I was watching her, do this thing. And so when she invited me to the group, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And then it took me a while to kind of see the value in it. I didn't start Shakeology for about a year. And when my son turned 1, I signed up as a coach and ordered my Shakeology. And I was a success starter right out of the gate. Like when Success Starter, before they changed Success Starter. So it used to be that you had to be, in order to be a Success Starter, you had to hit Success Club in each of your first 3 months, and you only had 3 months. So I was a Success Starter when that was kind of the format. And I'm a diamond coach, and I've just over time, I think that my biggest strength has been consistency. I What I want to talk to you about tonight is not anything super groundbreaking, but hopefully I'll say it in a way that really um, kind of gives you a new spin on it. So the story that Ashley wants me to tell, which I love, is so it's about bamboo. Um, if you have bamboo as a it as you if you plant it in the ground as a like a brand new small plant, and you water it and you fertilize it and you talk to it and you watch it, you are not going to see anything happen for years. And what's going to start to happen is you're going to start to doubt that it's even alive anymore. And you're going to say, what is happening? I have been giving this plant all of this love. I have been doing all the right things. I have planted it in the right soil. I have given it the right water. I have given it the right, special food that will, be the thing that makes it grow, and nothing is happening. And you're going to want to dig it up, and you're going to want to check on it, and you're going to want to say, oh my gosh, because you're looking at your neighbor's bamboo that looks like a forest over there, and nothing is happening. But what is happening is the roots are developing, and the roots are growing deep, and they're growing wide, and they are creating this huge stable foundation for the bamboo. And in year 4 or 5, this bamboo plant shoots up, and it can grow several feet in a day because of this enormous root system that it has built. And if you dig it up and you check on it and you look at what's going on and you mess with it, or you give up on it and you stop watering it, you're never going to reach that time when your bamboo becomes this huge plant that is capable of enormous growth in a very short period of time. And it's very relevant to our business because we do all the things. We send all of the invites. We post like we're supposed to. We show up on social media. We work on our fitness journey. We drink our shake. We do our personal development. But a lot of times we don't have that external growth until we've done all of the internal growth. We have to grow our own roots very, very deep and very, very wide in order to have that quick growth, for it for everybody it's different. Some people it's right away. Some people it takes a while. So you guys, I'm sure you've, heard Erin Mayer's story as well. Like she's another one where not a lot happened on the outside until 3 or 4 or 5 years in. And then now you see her and she's, two-star diamond and she's got, she's diamond in her second CBC. Like all of a sudden everything starts happening because of the growth that she had. Same thing with the way that my business is going right now. I have spent the last 2 years really digging into my personal development and really being consistent. And it's not something that you can see on the outside when somebody's doing personal development. You don't see that they're, having all this growth, but it's all of that work that you do on you. So I wanted to give you guys some things to consider that have worked really well for me. And this is something that I've been doing for my whole coaching journey. So I've been a coach for over 4 years. And 2 years ago at Summit, when we went to Indianapolis, um, that was kind of like my line in the sand. Like that was my year that I kind of had this epiphany. And I have kind of another analogy for you, which is you have the day that you sign up as a coach, and then you have the day that you decide to coach. And that time in between, it's almost like you have it's like the way that a baby comes into the world. So the day that you sign up as a coach, that's like your conception. And the day that you decide to work this business, that's when your baby is born. And your baby still has a lot of growing to do. You still have to, feed it and care for it and love it and watch it grow and, all of those things. And you have to nurture it and you have to help it grow. And it will grow into a human, but not on the day that you decide that you're going to coach. So that was kind of like what Summit was for me. And so starting at Summit 2 years ago, I recommitted to myself and I recommitted to my personal development and my personal growth, because that, if you are not personally confident and doing your doing your own journey in a way that you feel happy with, and you are not consistent with your nutrition and you're not getting results that you want with your workouts, and you're not, you know if every time somebody tells you no, you just basically like crumple up and want to just go die in a hole, like you need to work on you. So the things that I have been doing for the past 4 years, but really, really intentionally and consistently since Summit, wait for it because this is going to blow your mind. It's the 4 vital behaviors. I know, something you've never heard before. But the way that I look at them is I divide them up into like two parts. So the first two are the most, I think they're all important, they're all vital, but you can't effectively do the second two until you've done the first two. The first two is number one, be a product of the product. You have to work on yourself. You have to have your own personal transformation. You have to commit to a program. You have to drink your shake and love it and talk about the products and tell everybody how you think the Energize is so amazing because you're a tired mom and it helps you be like a real mom with your kids who doesn't just want to go to sleep, especially when you come home after a long day at work and like your kid wants to do these like really complicated like crafts or like go run around outside. These are the things you have to have your own reason for why you love things. And make sure that you're on your nutrition. Make sure you're doing those things really effectively and sharing them really, really well. And the second thing is personal development. That's the second vital behavior that fall into the category of like personal growth and personal work. So you have to work on you first. You have to have your own transformation and you have to be doing your own internal work. And then you can do the other things. And the third one is to invite, because how are we going to talk to people and get them in our groups and help them get their own transformations if we're not inviting? And the fourth one is recognize other people for the success that they're having. And so whether it's your coaches or if you don't have, coaches who are working it, recognize your challengers. If you have a challenger who finishes a program, shout them out in your group. Um, I have been running a really great ongoing accountability group for, gosh, it's been like 5 or 6 months now, but that's a practice that I like to do is anytime somebody does something remotely anything, like I'm like, you finished week one, way to go, or it's your birthday, happy birthday, you finished a program, rock on, like, and then I tell, like, I shout them out, and then I tell people, like, drop a gif, I don't know how you say it, in the comments, and celebrate with them. And then, like, everybody jumps on board, and it's like this fun little party in the comments where everybody's like, celebrating with them. That's the kind of thing, that's how I do recognition. And it's so simple, but it's so effective. And so when you divide up the vital behaviors and think about them as, I got to work on me first, and then I can work on other people, and then I can help other people, and then I can have what I have to give to others if I am fulfilled in my own self. And the vital behaviors cover all that because we're working on ourself, we're working on our fitness, our nutrition, and then we're working on our mental health and our mindset. And then we can give that to other people because we can say, I use these products. This is my transformation. I know these products and I can help you. I have also worked on my own mindset. So if you're struggling, I can help you there too. You invite people and then you shout them out and tell them they're doing an awesome job. The vital behaviors are so important. And I don't think of it as like I have to do my vital behaviors today. It's like they're just ingrained in what I do because I do them all the time. Um, and so when you do those vital behaviors and you do them constantly and consistently, you have to commit. Like, it's not easy to do them every day. Like, yeah, you don't want to eat all of your containers every day. You want those extra, yellows and blues, but being consistent in all of those things, being consistently a product of the product, reading or listening to your personal development, always inviting. I invite people 6 days a week. Usually there's one day out of the week where I don't and I'm doing follow ups or whatever, but I am showing up in my inbox 7 days a week for the last 4 years. Christmas, I don't send invites, but I send people messages. I say Merry Christmas. I'm constantly there in people's inboxes no matter what. Um, and as you build this consistently and you show up for yourself and you show up for other people, it's going to build your belief in yourself. And belief is a really hard thing because it gets, that's where personal development comes in, because it gets into, do I feel worthy of this? Do I feel like I deserve this thing that I'm working for? Because these are very real questions. And if these are things that you're not really sure, like, I do a ton of journaling. That's part of my personal development. And so I ask these questions. Like, if you guys want a really good podcast, I love the Life Coach School podcast with Brooke Castillo. She's amazing. I would start at like the very, very, very beginning, and I would listen in order to the first maybe like 20 episodes, just because she it sets the foundation for the whole rest of her podcast. And she's really, really good. But she really, if you struggle with like worthiness and lack of confidence and relationships, anything like that, she's great. And her episodes are, I mean, they're labeled like, you can just, after you listen to those first couple of them, you can just scroll through and say, okay, what do I need help with today? She's great. I love her. Um, so work on your belief in the products. Like, you can't have belief in the products unless you've had your own transformation. You can't have belief in yourself unless you consistently show up. And something that I learned was, you have to base your success on your actions, not on your results, because you can't control other people, but you can control yourself showing up every day. And so when I made that mental shift and I said, I know that I can send out my invites. I know that I can do my follow ups. I know that I can post. I know that I can, share in my stories every day. These are all things that I have control over. And so if I can control that and I do that thing for me, builds my belief in myself. And as that belief comes, then other people start to feel that because it creates energy. And that's the third thing is, sorry, I kind of like, I do have like bulleted numbers, but they're just kind of like not totally out. I guess I'm on number three, but number three is energy. So we've got consistency, which you get from the four vital behaviors. That was number one. Belief is number two. Energy is number three. So building up your consistency and your belief, that's going to build energy in yourself. And when you come into these conversations with people and you have this energy that is like, it's infectious. Like they just want to be part of what you're doing because you're so fired up and because you're so excited and because you believe in yourself and you believe how incredible your group is because all these women in there are rocking their journey and you're in there shouting them out. And will have these conversations that just they just go the way you want them to go because you believe in yourself, because you know and you are confident that you can get people results. And that's the energy. Like I believe that you can have you can send out like 7 invites a day and you can still move your business forward at a rate that will blow your mind if you have the right energy in these conversations. It's not about doing more, it's about bringing better energy. And so the way that I make all this work every day is I just follow the tracker. I don't know if you guys follow, I don't know if you have, which tracker are you using, Ashley?
We've been using, I know some are still using the old school, like the Beachbody one, but we've been using Aaron and Josh's,
Yeah.
like
Okay. So
Aaron
that's the
spin
one that
off
I use
Josh's
too.
tracker.
So I'm in Josh's push mastermind. So this is my tracker that I fill out every week. And I live by this thing and it
Yeah.
covers all the things. So if you do this tracker and you do those 7, you know, 7 invites and the 3 recruiting invites and you check in with your stories and you do your personal development, like it's all on there. It has everything you need to do on that tracker. The only thing you need to do is show up consistently and do it every day. My goal is to fill out that tracker 100% every week. That's my goal. And in Josh's group, you have to fill it out at 85% or you get called out and kicked out of the group. And that's the number that, you know, he's found that if you are consistent in that and you do that, you will move your business forward. But I don't want to just like do that and move my business forward. I want to know that I did everything I could every single week on that tracker. And that's what's moving my business forward. So all of those things combined, which again, you have the consistency with the 4 vital behaviors, you're working on yourself, you're developing that belief in yourself. You have your energy that you're starting to bring into these conversations because you know it works and you know that you're capable of getting people results. You believe in yourself, you believe in the product, and then combining it all together, getting it all done on the tracker every single week. Again, like my goal is 100% because I can control it. I cannot control what other people are going to say, but I can control what I do in my business on my tracker. And that's been the thing that's been helping me the most is just that consistency, controlling what I can control, and remembering that like growth is not always visible. So like, you know, like at the beginning, the story about the bamboo, you might not see outward growth for a long time, but you can speed that up by working on yourself. And you can speed that up by doing the things all consistently, and they're not crazy huge. It's just little things every day, but making sure you're getting them done over time. Your business will grow if you show up every day. If you haven't read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, that is a really good book. And it talks a lot about just like tiny incremental changes, you know, they could be like micro changes, but if you do them every day, it will change your life. That's a really good book for that. So, yeah, does anybody have any questions?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I kind of want to hear because I know we're feeling the weight of 2020, right? Like if anybody has any places where they're just like they need to like let it out a little bit, like where are they feeling stuck? Where are they feeling those low points? Where are they feeling just incredibly frustrated? Or like, what are those places that I know we keep it really light and positive, but like we need to tap into those things too sometimes where it's like, I think about the energy piece, Alana, and like how you're like it's easy for me 5 years in, almost to the day. Tomorrow it's my coach anniversary. But for me to be like, just talk to people, it'll come natural. But like it didn't come natural, right? Like so long ago. And that's that belief in yourself and that energy that's a part of the conversation because I don't actually care if they want to do it or not, but I'm still going to invite them. But like that's easy when you get to that point to say. So I know one of the pieces that many coaches struggle at, and what I was reading in Josh's book too, is like you get to that first rank advancement, that emerald, you hit that mark and you're just like, yes. And then if something slips or doesn't quite stick the way that you thought it would, that's as far as you're going to go because in your mind, that's as far as you think you can go or you deserve to go or fill in the blank. So like, I know our team is full of so much leadership and so much potential. And I also know that we've had a lot of people kind of in this funk lately. So I kind of wanted to open it up to you guys and just say, like, what's on your mind? Like, what are you thinking about when you're hearing these things? Because they are the same things that we've been saying, but like how are we feeling about them now?
Well, I'll start. I think for me, being the elder in the group, I struggle a lot with, my friends they don't think this is something that they can or should do. They're too old and da 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 da. And they tell me how inspiring I am all the time. I don't really want to hear that. I want, I want to inspire you enough to where you want to take a chance at it. I have problems getting. I feel like I guess my frustration comes from. I feel like I have the same people seeing the same thing, saying the same thing, and I'm not expanding any. And no matter how many conversations, just normal conversations, I call them normal, not business related, that I open up with people, I still don't see progress from that. Or if I do, which I know it's normal, if you do it consistently, you're going to see it down the road. You're not going to see it immediately usually, but you're going to see it down the road. I guess my problem is just finding the people and the best way to find a group or my niche, so to speak, because my niche isn't wanting to do it. So I don't know if I have to create a new one or what I have to do, but that's where I'm at.
I know we were talking too, and like Aaron Mayer has a thing going with like the hype squad, basically is what I think of it as. But like what we have in our leaders chat where we're like, oh hey guys, I just posted this thing. Could you go love on it? Right. Like the engagement, boosting engagement and things like that. And we were talking about how sometimes like they see those groups and they're like, oh, hold on, algorithm, stay away from those people, right? Like, and it can be a thing like that we're hearing that people are, we'll go and how many times, raise your hand if you've ever posted an amazing post and like 4 people have liked it and you're like, oh, but that was so from my heart. So I think that continues to be a struggle. Alana, do you have any advice on kind of expanding that reach and expanding that network without having to, are ads the only way? Are there, like, how are you expanding that network?
Um, I I'm just expanding my my actual network as much as I can. So like adding new friends on social media, making sure that I'm adding people who are active. So I don't know how much you're on social media. I mean, social media on Instagram, but like what I'll do is I'll go to a really big group, like a big account with like 70, 100,000 people following or whatever. And I'll go to a post that really resonates with me, a recent one. And then I'll go in and see who has commented and it takes a little bit more time, but I'll read the comments and the people that I really resonate with what they've said, I'll friend them or follow them. And then when they follow me back, like I just kind of, start building the relationship from there. And I kind of I keep like a rolling list. It's in a collections on Instagram, and I still work Facebook too, but like Facebook for me is more like follow-ups now. I'm not really I I'm more transitioning to like new people from Instagram. So I will keep like a rolling list of people that I really, really want to work with. And I'll really build that relationship with them. I'll open up like really deep conversations with them, about something in their stories or like a post that they made, and just like really get it going on a deep level. Like I don't, and then and it doesn't have to be a lot of back and forth. It just has to be a couple, and then I'll invite them to something, and they'll usually say no or ghost me, and then we'll just keep going, and I'll invite them again and again and again and again and again and again and again, and eventually like they're ready. So it does take a lot of follow-ups, but if it's the right person from something, if you find a post that resonates with you and add the people who you like their comments.
So
That's
really
been
making, even though they're strangers, like getting kind of that gut feeling, authentic connection going, right? And like, because I remember like the big thing for so long was chasing hashtags. And like, I don't have time to chase hashtags. I spend like 30 to 60 minutes a day on social media, including like my messages and things like that, just because I can't. There's a whole lot to get sucked into, right? Like, so the hashtag thing felt so overwhelming for me. But I like the idea of finding the
Yeah,
post.
hashtags are not they're not really working like they used to, because especially now with the election, they've turned off the recent hashtags option.
Mm.
So it doesn't even really matter so much anymore. I don't sometimes I don't even use them.
Right. I don't use them on most of my posts either because I connect them to my Facebook and I just think that it would look a little crazy to have like 30 hashtags too. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, things that are on your mind?
Sure.
Yeah, go
So-
for it, girlfriend.
So I don't have any questions because I am very, very aware that I am in control of my complete dead zone right now. But I mean, everything like, and I get it. And I'm in a dead zone everywhere in life. And so right now, this is just one thing that's being pushed on the back burner. And I know it, and it's, ebbs and flows. But when I was doing all the vital things, because Ilana, I've been doing this for about 5 years, and I switched teams last year to join Ashley's team under my husband so I could move everybody with me because I had done the research first. And then I joined again in January. And then I actually, thank you, COVID, started coaching. So I was a success starter this year. 5 years into the business, I became a success starter. And, then started building my husband's team because coincidentally, as a runner, and my success starter program was 30-day breakaway. So like that was the program that, so Marsha, the one thing I will say is don't discount as well the people that you do have. Because I've had people who've been watching me for years and have had nothing to say. And then all of a sudden they've been like, so wait a minute. So eventually cycle back. And I know that when I had that energy and I was doing all the things, it works. I'm just not in a place to work it right now mentally, but like it does. And I get it. And I'll get back there eventually.
I had a woman who I'd invited probably 17 times to join because I knew she would benefit from it. And she was just so down on herself. And even the other day, I was like, okay, April, time number 100. This is going to be it, right? Like, we're going to do it now, aren't we? And then she was like, oh, I ordered Beachbody back in May because I saw that you were like doing things. And I was like, well, that probably works. So I'll just order Beachbody. And then like, yeah. So how do I join your team? Like, how do I do the community? And I'm like, so sometimes too, people are like, I feel like we have to do, like, we've talked in our team a lot about how like quarterly we do those reintroducing ourselves posts, right? Like for the people who are new here, or the people who might not know that this is my business, or the people who might not know what it means to have an independent coach, like working with you, because she was like, oh, like, I'm not like automatically yours. And I'm like, no, that's not, no. And so she switched over to me today, but I was just like, I've asked that girl, I mean, literally. And like, I called her and me out on it too, where I was like, okay, it's been a million times. Is this it? Because you're right. When you find those people and you like feel it, you're like, I'm going to ask them. Like, I have people who are not even like, they don't even work out. They hate exercise. And I'm like, you are so inspiring. You should be on my team. And they're like, I hate exercise. Like, why would I do that? I don't even like exercise. And I'm like, no, but you'd be really great at this. So come on, it's fine. And then they're like, you're crazy. But, you know, you just have to keep seeing it, you know, even if it looks really, really, really far away, just see it. So anybody else, we all have such different journeys. They're on this call. So it's so fun to see these faces in particular here, because everybody's kind of at a different spot with everything. Anything? Any questions? I love this tracker. Oh my God. I was like, hey, Erin, can I like shadow your groups? And then she was like, yeah, we're just filling out this tracker thing. And I was like, where is it?
So Ronnie, she's one of my coaches. She just texted me. She signed up with me 3 years ago just as a discount coach. And like what, last month, Ronnie? She's like, okay, I'm ready. Like, hundreds of thousands of
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens.
I was gonna say what resonated. I know you can't see me. I'm in the dark.
Caitlin,
Hi,
she's
yes,
driving to Florida.
I'm driving. Yay! I'm gonna make it there tonight. Anyway, so like what resonated with me is the consistency that I need to work on my journey first before I can help others with theirs. And like I got into a Thanksgiving funk, and like all the weight I lost this year, I gained back and then some. Yay me! Which means I get to start again tomorrow. Which is fine because I've started again 12 times. What's 13? Like, but now understanding how it works a little bit better, I feel like I can do it better this time, which means the results will be even better. That's what I'm running with at the moment.
Yeah.
But if I can interject real quick, I don't want, Caitlin, I don't want you to wait for some random result before you decide it's time to help people. Because that's what a lot of people do. They say, well, I don't have any results yet, so I can't possibly, you know, you're shortchanging yourself. You can show changes in different ways, whether it's your energy level, your ambition, your drive to do it. Just, it doesn't have to be a physical transformation before you can get started on your journey. And the other thing I wanted to ask real quick, what was the name of the podcast again?
It's called the Life Coach School Podcast with Brooke Castillo.
Life Coach. Thank you.
Yep. And actually that, Marsha, just to kind of like piggyback off what you said, like a lot of personal work also goes into believing in your own worth, because you don't, you know, we tell new coaches all the time, hey, it's a great time to start inviting people to coach with you because you can be doing this with somebody else. Like, that's what I tell my new coaches is like, who do you know that would love to do this with you? And you guys can like buddy up and do it together. But you've got to believe that you're worthy of helping other people, even if you don't have your own results yet, because believe in the products. You know the products work. Because you've seen, you know, you've seen our team. You've had
Energize is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, heck, you could build your team around Energize.
That's like, what's going on this drive right now. So Energize.
That's what Whitney does too.
But like, you know, do the personal work of your own personal development around whatever it is that you're feeling like you're not good enough. That's where you need to work on you at the same time as working on your health journey. And those are your roots that you need to grow.
Mm-hmm. For me, I feel like doing that Enneagram test like changed my life, because I would look at other people and I would compare myself and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not even compassionate. Do I not care about people? What's going on? Just because I don't approach things the same way as other people. And I'm like, oh, I'm a challenger. So it's not that I don't care. It's that I care so freaking much. And I believe that people can do it, that like makes me seem a little abrasive sometimes, because I'm like, don't quit. You can do this. You can do it. But I think, yeah, getting to know yourself and understanding, you know, all those pieces, because that led me to read Josh. If I would have read Josh's book a year ago, there's no way, because I didn't know where I was as a leader, a person, anything yet, you know. We are actually doing, because you know Josh encourages like challenges, doing monthly like challenges, and I was reading about that and I was like, oh, let's do a little PED challenge this month. And we've got a lot of people that are still participants. Is anybody still doing it in this call? Has anybody still made all the days, all the live on days? Yay!
I am. I still need my 10 minutes, but after this call, I'm going to listen to it. So.
Yeah. I haven't done mine for today either. Yeah. So I think like into setting those goals that are like just a little out of reach. I think that's something that I've started doing lately too that's helped. Like I was only making X number of dollars, like on average per month. And I would make that my goal every month. And then I doubled it one time and I was like, ooh, this is terrifying. And I might not get it, but like, what if I did? And I literally doubled the goal. And it took me like 4 months to get there. But then I was like, oh, now I get to double it again. Like you get to just reach just a little bit further with that kind of stuff. Yeah, thank you for this. Thank you. I needed to hear the things about the energy and hear that reminder that the consistency is what counts.
And so like Josh has a ton of like recorded videos on YouTube, like if you're not in his group, but he talks about this, it's like the equation. And I think he got it and like adapted it from something that maybe Dave Ramsey talked about. But basically the equation is consistency plus intensity, which is the energy that you bring, plus worth, which is, do you believe you are capable and worthy, like down in your soul, plus time, which means you got to give it time, equals whatever you want in life. And you can apply this to anything, but it's those 4 things that you need to work on in order to get whatever it is that you want. So consistency plus intensity or energy plus worth plus time. And that equation, all of those pieces put together will get you what you want.
Absolutely. Caitlin, I was thinking of you because like at the beginning of this, Caitlin and I were doing this like Shanti mega stupid crazy hybrid. And we saw amazing results and we were doing all these, right, like all these things that we had never in our lives done. And like I stepped on the scale the other day and I was like, oh, there it is, right? Like most of it's back. Like I'm almost back to my original like beginning of this like quarantine weight. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Okay, I guess I'll just do the things because I should do the things, right? Like the food and all the things, right? And so like I have never like, and I don't even love working out with Autumn. I don't, but like I am so pumped about doing this program with Fidelity. Like that's going to be like the last time that I think 21 Day Fix was the last time I fully followed a program. I know mom feels this way about like 80 Day Obsession, where like she did the time nutrition perfectly, I guess Shift Shop, but like I am going to be like so laser beams with my portion control and like all that because it does leave room for wine and some chocolate and some, different things like that. But it's like,
oh yeah,
I think there's a whole lot of reconnecting that needs to be going on and recalibrating. And I think that it's important for me to share that because sometimes people think that one, they can't say anything like that around me. I don't know why. No matter how many times I say I'm not a boss, people are like, oh, but if I say, no, that's not a thing. But, and also like, it's like, we're all in this. It doesn't matter if you've done it for 10 years, like Nicole Jones, like we're just all trying to figure it out, and that's why these calls are so vital because we can take that minute to breathe and reconnect together every Sunday when things are getting tough and another week is about to begin, right? And that's why I do the Sunday calls because Tuesday might be easier for some people. And I know what's that show that everybody wanted to watch on Sunday nights? What's the show? The TV show that was like, this is off topic. It's sci-fi. I don't know. Dead Zone? No, not Dead Zone.
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
I was like, what are you talking about, Ashley?
DVR it. Come to the team call, right? So thank you so much, Ilana. Thank you guys for coming on and listening. I'm going to stop